Hey. I don't even know how to start this. It's Dottie, obviously, my channel, so that's who I am. I am just out in my yard. Hopefully you can hear me. I'm never sure of like how the audio is when I'm on my phone, but hopefully you can hear me. But so I'm just out in my yard and I'm going to be getting some of my garden planted. I planted 4 tomatoes yesterday and now I'm planting, oh no. Okay, don't lean on the table because my phone might just fall to the ground. Okay, good to know. Anyway, I'm out in my yard and it's just such a nice morning. It's kind of chilly, but not, not raining. And so I figured it would be fun to maybe have a gardening chat while hey, Zulu1, what's going on? Yeah, I thought it would be fun to have a garden chat while I get my stuff ready. So yeah, I planted, grow some shit already. Yeah, you're going to like this, Zulu. I have got, so the main thing that I'm planting right now is going to be potatoes. So I've got these potatoes. Like the angles are always so hard. So these potatoes are just store-bought potatoes, nothing special about them. They're just Yukon Gold. And so I've had them sitting. Thank you. Yeah, I live in like basically a park kind of. I've got tons of trees on my property. I don't know if you can hear the birds, but there's tons of birds around. Singe Man, I'm growing also. Awesome. That's great. Yeah, I mean, that's why I wanted to do this stream is because, like, I have a very small growing space, and I just think it's important for people to know that you can grow quite a bit of food even in a small space. And so, yeah, I got these potatoes, and see, they're starting to sprout, and they're just a bag of organic Yukon Gold potatoes. You can buy seed potatoes, but they sell out really fast in the spring, and so like if you don't get them as soon as you see them, they will be gone. But so I just had these potatoes, and just once it got down to the end of the bag, I've got 6 potatoes here. So I just basically ignored them for a month and a half or so, and just let them get these sprouts on them. And so with potatoes, okay, so see, this one's got like multiple eyes on it that are sprouting. So you can cut them up and, like chunk out each section of the eye that is sprouting, and you can plant that. But I've heard that if you just plant the whole potato, it will grow. Oh, bugs here. But I've heard that if you just plant the whole potato, it'll grow bigger potatoes. So I don't know. I've never grown potatoes, and so I've heard that it's pretty easy. Zulu1 would tell you that it's not. So yeah, it's going to be a fun experiment. I'm really excited. But so I'm just going to mix up my soil, and I've got some perlite, and then I've got these really cool Yukon. So see, I've got these really cool grow bags. I got a pack of 25-gallon grow bags on Amazon. I don't know the brand. I don't know anything about it. It just, like, if you just type in multi-pack of grow bags or whatever, I'm sure it'll come up. But yeah, I planted 4 tomatoes in grow bags yesterday, and I think that's going to work really well. I also have these these pea starts, and they're just from Bonnie's. Like, I got them at work. I do have pea seeds, but I figured I like just wanted to buy plants, and so I bought these. But I mean, this one is nice because it's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's nine pea starts in this, and then another one that's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Another 6. So I mean, that's 15 plants right there for like $6. And yeah, and they're just already started. And you can just put them in whatever. And the nice thing about peas is they don't need a ton of like root space. Like tomatoes want you want to plant them pretty deep because they'll actually grow roots off of their entire stem. And so the deeper you plant them, the more roots it'll grow and just the stronger the plant will be. Peas don't need a ton of space at all. So one sec. So like you can plant peas in something like this, and as long as you have a trellis for it to grow up on, that'll be totally fine. But that container I'm giving to my son, and he's gonna plant. I've got 3 containers that were just like in the yard here, and so we cleaned them out of the dead stuff that was in them, and he's gonna have his own little garden. I told him he can plant whatever he wants, and he decided that he wants 3 different kinds of carrots. So I have a pot that's like this deep, so we'll plant like regular, you know, long carrots, and then I have that oblong one, and so I have these other carrots that are like, they grow to be about this long. I think they're called fingerlings, something like that. And so they grow to like the length of your finger. And so I thought that would be perfect in that long one. And then I have another little small round pot that I have these cute little round carrots. So he's going to plant 3 different kinds of carrots. But so what I've heard with potatoes is you want to just, so like this is a 5-gallon grow bag. So you want to put like a light layer of soil down and put your potatoes in, and then put another light layer. Morning. Just put another light layer of soil on top of the potatoes, and as they start to sprout and grow their foliage, their greenery, then you just keep adding more soil. And so this bag will end up being full of soil, and the potatoes should grow and fill the bag basically. So it's going to be a fun experiment, and yeah, I've never done it before, but I think it's going to be cool. So I have gone through many different kinds of potting soil trying to figure out like which is a good one. And some of the other ones, they got compacted way too much, like when you water it. I'm a really big fan of this one that I got. So, oh no! See, that's why I said I shouldn't bump my table, because my phone will fall. Okay, we're back. So yeah, this is the Kellogg brand all natural raised bed potting mix, and I like it a lot because it's very, oh my god. Oh, that's hilarious. I mean, nothing but high quality streams on my channel here. Hilarious. I'm a mess. Let's see if it'll actually stay there. Okay. I might have to put it on something else because it's probably going to keep falling over. Doesn't help that like my table is currently on an incline, so okay, I think that'll work better. But yeah, so I like this soil because it's really like, really loose. It's, you know, it's not compacted at all. And so I'm already liking this quite a bit, because you want your plants to, you want the roots to be able to like dig through the soil really easily, because the root systems are, you know, pretty tiny. And so if your soil is super compacted and just like really like hard soil, kind of, the roots will have trouble growing through it. So I'm liking the soil already. So I'm just adding cups of soil to this big container that I have like this, and then I add perlite to it as well, which is, it's these little like white pebbly stuff, and it just adds even more aeration to your soil, so it just makes it even less compacted. And so I think it's going to work really well. But yeah, I mean, everything is kind of an experiment with gardening, so just kind of gotta do what you want, figure out what works for you. And it's not like, this isn't scientific in any way, or how did we get here? Happy Saturday to you as well. So I just have a red solo cup, and then I just put like 6 cups of soil in here, and then I'll probably do like 1.5, 2 cups of perlite, and then mix it all together, and then that'll be like the bottom layer for my potatoes. Thing I kind of love about gardening is that, I mean, there are rules. So well, there are rules, but at the same time, there's really not rules. You know, I mean, as long as you're willing to try stuff and be okay with possibly failing, you will have a successful garden. Because even the most successful gardeners still fail in the garden. They still have plants die. They still have like bugs overtake the garden. Like, there's no one right way to garden. But as long as you keep trying, you will have success. You will find something that works for you. And it really just, it teaches you good lessons in patience, because even though stuff grows very quickly, you can't eat it or harvest it until it's ready, you know? So you have to just be patient and wait for the plant to do its thing. But it's kind of mind-blowing how quickly plants grow. So I mean, a tomato from seed to harvest is about 100 days generally. You can find varieties that fruit quicker, but in general, it's about 100 days from seed to harvest for a tomato. But something like a radish is, you can harvest those in a month. Oh, you know, from seed to harvest in a month. A squash, zucchini, cucumbers, those are harvested in about 50 days, really, and they produce a lot of food. And so, I mean, it's just really, it's really awesome how quickly stuff grows, but you do have to be patient with it and, you know, wait for its time to be there. So yeah, I just put a light layer of soil down, and then I put my potatoes in here, and now I'm going to cover them with a light layer, and then as the greens start to grow up, I'll keep adding more and more soil, and in I think 3 months or so. I think potatoes are about 3 months, 3 or 4 months. I should have a bag of potatoes that is about as big, maybe a little bigger than the bag that I got these in from the store. And I mean, that's pretty cool because you're turning your food into more food. So I really love that. And of course I need a little bit more soil. I'm really bad at like judging just how much I need for one of these grow bags, but I mean, it's easy to mix up more soil, so it's not really a big deal. And like, you don't have to add perlite to it. I just do because I just want to make sure that my soil and my plants have lots of breathing room to move their roots around. So that's what I do. But again, there's no like one single right way to do it. So if you find something that works for you, definitely do that. Biggest thing is just being willing to try, honestly, because if you never try, you never know. You like, if you never are willing to try, then you will fail every time because you are not willing to just put some seeds in the ground and see what it can do. And even if you have expired seeds, Candace seed driving but listening, and okay, awesome. I'm planting some potatoes. But yeah, even if you have seeds that are, I get dirt everywhere when I'm gardening. That's just what happens. You just let the soil fall where it may. But yeah, even if you have seeds that are technically expired, still just plant them. Like plant them, plant the whole pack, plant them heavy. And if you get a couple things out of that, then that's great. But if you just think, oh no, these seeds they're expired, I'm just going to throw them away, you 100% will get nothing out of that. But if you just try, I mean, you might get 1 carrot out of a whole pack of seeds. You never know. Okay, here we go. So yeah, my grow bag, it's just got a nice light layer of soil on the potatoes, and I'm gonna water these when I take them over. That flat fellow, hey, what's going on? Yeah, so I'm gonna take these over. I have a raised bed. I have a raised bed garden over here that my tomatoes are currently in, also in grow bags. And so yeah, I'm gonna put these over there and then I'll water them. I'm not gonna do that. Oh man, I'm not gonna do that right this second, but just set that down right there. And so now I'm just gonna get my son's bowls ready for when he's gonna plant his carrots later. So I'm just gonna fill those up with soil so they're ready for him. He's still just relaxing. I let him have like lazy mornings on the weekends. So we had a really fun night last night. We went to a drive-in theater, and it was like a mile away from my house. And we one sec. So yeah, we went to a drive-in theater. It was a double feature for $19. In general, I kind of hate movies. Once you awaken to certain things in the world, you just find movies very, very irritating. So the double feature was Tom and Jerry, which was awful. One of the worst movies I've ever seen. The writing was just atrocious. and the jokes were not funny in any way, but he had a lot of fun at the drive-in. He thought it was a really cool concept. The second one that I'm actually going to do a whole stream on, I need to watch the whole movie because we left. It was like 12:30 when we left because, they have to wait till it gets dark for the movie to start. But so the second movie was Godzilla versus Kong, and I'm going to watch that whole thing and do a stream about that movie because the amount of stuff that I noticed was mind-blowing. Even in just the first 30 minutes, I'm just like, wow, they're not even trying to like hide stuff. It was very truth droppy, and yeah, and there will be nothing but spoilers in that stream. So I will probably do that. I might watch that movie like tonight or in the morning. I have to take notes on all the stuff I noticed because it was really interesting. I'm just like, oh, okay, we're doing this, and yeah, it was really crazy. But we're not getting into that now. But yeah, we went to the drive-in theater, and it was a lot of fun. I mean, it was a good time, but yeah, I just kind of hate movies in general, so it's all good. Yeah, he's gonna get his buckets ready, and then he can plant carrots later. And then I have a like really ugly hill that I am planning on covering in wildflowers and like cutting flowers, and probably gonna do a mix of like annuals and perennials, so I can cut all the annuals this summer and make arrangements, and then hopefully the perennials will reseed and come back, and then over the years or so I can just add more seeds, and eventually this ugly hill will be less ugly. So yeah. So yeah, this is one of the things I got. Like, I like to just get cute baskets and plant stuff in those. So this is going to be the one that he's going to plant the round carrots in, and I think it'll work really well because they grow to be like that size, like the size of a quarter or a $50, and so they don't need a lot of deep space, and so I think this will work really well for him. I asked him if he wanted, because I have a ton of seeds, and so I was like, okay, well, do you want? He knew he wanted to plant carrots, and then I was like, well, do you maybe want to plant any flowers in one of the other ones? Do a mix of flowers and edible stuff. And he was just like, I think I just want 3 kinds of carrots. And like, all right, you know what? That's fine. Like, I'm giving him this space for his garden, so he can do whatever he wants. It's like, I'm doing whatever I want in my garden. And so I figured, well, why not just let him do whatever he wants in his garden? So I think it's really important to teach kids about where food comes from and how to grow food and just how to take care of a garden, because to me it is so important to be connected to nature. And for me personally, I see the garden as a direct connection to our Creator, because if you follow the Bible at all, we were put in a garden when we first came here, and I think that we are meant to be in a garden, and that we actually get very sick when we are away from nature and we're just surrounded by electronic frequencies. And I think it's very healing for us to be in nature and be connected to the earth. Like, just digging digging your hands in the dirt, that's just, it's so good for you. It gives you natural immunity, and you just really connect with the free energy of the world if you're in nature and planting a garden and in the soil and stuff like that. And so I just think that it is very, very important for all of us to have a garden, no matter how small your garden may be, because my yard is mostly trees, and then the part over here, it's like a hill and trees, and then the deer are always in that part of the yard, so I've had to adjust and put my garden like up here at the top of my driveway where the deer don't go. And but like, even if you have a small space, you can still grow quite a bit of stuff. Because like, I'm gonna get multiple tomatoes off of my 4 plants. I have a variety of cherry tomatoes and a beefsteak tomato, which are the big slicers, and so I'm gonna get a ton of fruit off of just those. These pea plants, each one of these pea starts, it'll grow really tall, and you'll get multiple peas off of it. The carrots will, we'll get a good harvest of those. I'm going to get a bag full of potatoes. And I mean, this is all just being done in a very, very small space. So like, if you have a small space, I would highly recommend getting these grow bags. They just come like vacuum sealed in a big bag, and you can get as many as you want. And I mean, they're really nice. They got sturdy handles on them, and they're great. And so if you don't have the space for a big raised bed garden or a big, in-ground garden, anything like that, just look at where the sun is throughout the day, and like, you can put a 5-gallon bag anywhere. I mean, you really can. They're not big bags in any way. They kind of remind me of like the reusable bags that you get for the grocery store, and you can use those as well as grow bags. But I mean, they just don't take up a lot of space. So if you just have a small patio or a little bit of backyard, anywhere that gets sun, or even partial sun, you definitely can grow stuff. And if you really don't have space for that, like, see about getting some grow lights and see if you can grow some stuff just in your apartment or in your basement or whatever. I mean, it's very easy to find space and make it happen if you want. I mean, we all have cluttered closets, so it's like, empty out a closet and turn it into put a little greenhouse in there, turn it into a grow station, and you might be surprised at how much you can grow. So I just really want to encourage everyone to find one plant that you love to grow, whether it is a pretty plant that has no purpose other than it's just pretty, or you grow food, or you do both, or whatever. I just want everybody to find a plant that they love to grow, because it gives me such joy and peace to grow plants, that I really want to give that joy to everyone. And one thing that I am going to be doing in my future, I would like to buy like, hey, Young Love 4020, what's going on? Thanks for stopping by. I would like to buy like a food truck, but I want to convert it to a plant truck. And so then take that to like farmers markets, or just park it wherever and have people come to my plant truck and buy started plants. Like, it'll be a lot of decorative plants that you can just put around your yard, but I'm also going to have food growing plants too, because I think it's so important for everyone to learn how to grow your own food, because I remember I have a big fascination with seeds. I think it's very interesting how different and unique all the seeds are. And so I remember the first pack of sunflowers that I ever opened, and I poured them out in my hand. Awesome idea. I just planted tons of stuff. That's great. I love it. I'd love to hear that people are planting just anything at all. Like, it makes me so incredibly happy to know that people are just taking it upon themselves to plant anything. I just love it. But yeah, so I poured these sunflowers out into my hand, and I thought, oh wow, sunflower seeds look just like sunflower seeds that you get, in the bag at the store that you eat. And then I like stopped and thought for a second. I was like, well, like those ones in the bag, like they're literally called sunflower seeds. And it just really blew my mind at how just disconnected I was with where food comes from, because I've eaten sunflower seeds my whole life, and I never ever put a thought into the fact that that's how sunflowers are grown. Like, you grow them for, well, because they're beautiful and amazing, and for the pollinators, all that, but like, you grow them to harvest the seeds and eat them, and it just really blew my mind, because I just really realized that I had no idea how food came to be. I really had never put any thought into it, and I was so disconnected from that natural world. And so now anytime I get seeds, I'm just like very, very fascinated at how differently they look, how unique they are, and how each seed will grow into a plant that will give you possibly a few hundred seeds. I mean, if you take one pepper seed, it's going to grow into a plant that gives you a crazy amount of peppers, and each pepper has hundreds of seeds inside of it. And so it's just like, it's so beautiful and wonderful how good our Creator is for wanting us to have such abundance, and wanting us to be fruitful and multiply. It's just so beautiful to me. And I'm an avid seed lover, because it's like holding creation right in your hand, and it's such a beautiful experience to me. And I just love seeing how different every seed is, how wonderfully different every plant is, and I never would have known this side of life if I hadn't decided to just start trying to grow one plant. And I've killed many, many plants. Supanelli, hey! Yes, I have killed many, many, many plants. There's no shortage of plant death in my life, but I just keep trying again. Just keep trying to do something one more time, because maybe you killed aloe. Like I've killed probably 5 aloe plants, and I still, every time I see an aloe, I'm like, oh, it's just so beautiful. I just really want that. And I'm getting better at my aloe care. And like my first tomatoes that I was growing this year, I just didn't take care of them properly. I don't think the light that I have is strong enough. And they ended up dying, and so then I ended up buying tomato starts. I'm like, that's okay, you know, it's okay. It's all good. But just being willing to try again. And the thing right now that I am, I guess, battling with is my favorite YouTuber, Jess from Roots and Refuge Farms. She has her garden videos are one of the biggest reasons that I fell in love with the garden, because she has such beauty and design, even in food growing items, that it really warmed my heart and made me want that life so much. So she has, let me grab my pot one sec. She has these roses on an archway in the entrance of her garden, and they're called the Tangerine Skies Arbor Rose. And for some reason, when she mentions a variety of anything, I want it in my life. It doesn't matter if it's something that I like. Say okra. She mentioned a certain variety of okra. Never tried it before, but when I saw that variety, I was like, well, Jess has that, so I need that too. And it doesn't matter what it is, even if it's something that I know I probably won't like varieties of melons. If she grows it, I want to grow it and try it. But so she has these Tangerine Skies Arbor Roses, and they're just stunning. They're big. She says they're fragrant. They're really orange and just beautiful. And so I was at work the other day. I'm a garden vendor for Walmart. So I work at Walmart, but not for Walmart. But so I was putting the shrubs out, and I see a Tangerine Skies rose. And my heart just stopped. Now, the thing about this rose, I know for a fact that I don't have room for it. I don't. I absolutely don't. And it's $30. And so I have not been able to justify buying it because I know that I don't have a space for it. But I have decided that if that plant starts to look terrible and it gets marked down, I'm willing to spend $15 on it and find a space for it. Like, I'll just prune it back heavily and just keep it until I do have a space for it. And then there's also another rose that this one was $24, and it's called the Polynesian Punch, and it is it's pink and orange, and it's really lovely too. And I was like, $25 is still out of my price range. And I know that like $25, $30, that might not be that much, but when you know you just don't have space for something, kind of makes it a little easier to not buy it. But so I was torn between those two roses, and I just keep looking at them, and if one of them gets marked down, I will be talked into purchasing it. But now the other one that I found, and I wish I could remember its name. It's something plum something. I don't know. It's a really big rose, and it's this beautiful purple, and it says on the tag that it's really fragrant. So that's the one that I think I have finally got my heart really set on, because I want a rose that is showy and just amazing and smells really good. And so I think I've set my heart on the plum, this plum purple rose. But again, that one's a $25 one as well. And I looked through every single rose that we had, and I'm just like I had a ton of $15 roses, and I don't want a red rose. I just don't. I don't want a yellow rose. I don't want either of those roses. I mean, if someone gifted them to me, I would gladly take them, but I just don't want to purchase myself a red rose. I really don't. And so I really have my heart set on these purple roses, and I am just looking at them every day and just waiting and hoping for them to start looking kind of sad and not that great, so that I can have it marked down and have my very first rose bush. So I don't know. I mean, it's just kind of funny how you see something that someone else has and you're just like, well, that just really inspires me, and I just feel like I need it. I really do. And like, I swear I've been in a battle with myself for about a week now on these roses. I look at them every single day. I dream about them being on a beautiful archway in my eventual big garden, but I just can't justify spending $30 on it. I really can't. I don't know. But if it gets marked down to $15, I will justify it, and I will figure out a space for it. So guess we all have problems in life. My problem is I buy a lot of plants, and I love it. I bought, I think, 12 plants in a week. And I mean, 1, 2, 3, 6 of them are food growing plants. The other 6 are ornamental and pretty, and they just make me happy, and it is what it is. But I definitely bought 12 plants in a week. And I don't know. Yeah. Kirk Wilson, hey! Good to see you. I'm just rambling about my love for plants. And yeah. I don't know. I just hope that everyone finds a plant that just moves their heart and just makes them excited. Oh, the other thing at work lately, we got these peonies in, and this is another plant that's $25, and when they came in, there was this white one and a pink one, and they were just starting to open. And then throughout the day with the sunshine, they started to open even more, just explode. They're just lovely. They're so amazing. And the smell of them, I mean, it's unlike anything I think I've ever smelled. And yesterday they were both like really, really fully open after, a couple days of sun. And I mean, literally every time I walk by them, I just grab them and smell them, and they just really just move my heart. I mean, they make me just so unbelievably excited and happy, and they make me just exclaim my joy and my love for how good they smell. And I mean, if you've never smelled a peony, they are just, they're unbelievable, and they're so gorgeous. They have so many petals on them. They remind me of roses with how they smell, like the really fragrant roses. But they're, you know, they're thornless, and they're some of the prettiest flowers I've ever seen. But again, I have not been able to justify spending $25 or $30 on a single plant. But also, again, they get marked down. I might have to justify it, because when you find something that moves your heart so much, I mean, is it really a sacrifice to buy it and give space for it in your life if it brings you such immense joy? And so we'll see. I'm almost certain that I will end up with a rose by the end of this season, because it's only a matter of time before that plum rose starts to look sad, and marking that bad boy down, and it's coming home with me, and I will just figure out the details after that. So okay, I'm just about done. I have one more plant inside, one of my ornamental plants. It's a pothos, and I've had this bad boy for a couple years. Pothos are one of my most favorite plants. Not edible, but it's so lovely, and it grows such incredibly long tendrils on it, and it's the easiest plant that I have ever tried to propagate. So the pothos has, like, the leaves will grow off these little stumps, and so if you just cut off the pothos above one of those stumps and then put it in water, it'll start to root, and then you instantly have a new plant. I have propagated so many off of just one plant, and so I've got this really big one that it's ready for new soil. It's not happy with me right now. But the thing that I love about pothos the most, they're one of the most resilient plants I've ever owned. I mean, as far as easygoing goes, it doesn't get more easygoing than a pothos. I mean, they like bright light, they like minimal light, they don't really mind crappy soil, they do great in really good soil. If they start to look a little droopy, give them a bunch of water. They can handle their roots getting really dry, and they always pop back. I swear they're the most forgiving plant that I've ever had. And so if you are neglectful or forgetful, anything like that, they are so forgiving, and they will give you great confidence as a gardener, because they really just don't give a shit what you do. I mean, yeah, neglect them, too much light, not enough light. I couldn't I couldn't be more happy with how wonderful pothos are. And yeah, so easy to propagate that, you know, if you want to make new ones and give them to your friends, they tolerate that so well. And so I would highly recommend that everybody everybody who is wanting to get into gardening or house plants or anything, get a pothos, because it will give you a lot of confidence that you actually can be a gardener and do a really good job with it. Like, I swear, my big pothos that I've had for years now, I mean, I have literally forgotten to water it for probably a good couple months. And then if the leaves start looking droopy, just give it a serious soak. Like, just flood that thing. And it's in a really well draining thing. It's in like a basket, and so the water will just drain off. But just soak that bad boy down. Even if it's still in crappy soil, that thing will pop back and be like new again. It's really amazing. Like, I feel like I could set that thing on fire and it'd still just pop back up if you give it some water after. It's really mind-blowing how forgiving a pothos is. So yeah, I would definitely recommend anyone get one. So I'm gonna take you over here, give you a quick tour of my little garden, because it's really important for me that everybody knows you don't need a ton of space to have a nice garden. You really don't. These are one thing that I'm really enjoying right now. My daffodils popping up. Let's see. I don't know if turning the camera around will stop the stream, so I'm just not going to try to, but my daffodils, they're looking wonderful. And so then, oh yeah, and see, this is my ugly hill here. So it's just like, it's got like the Scotch broom in it, and it's just an ugly hill that it's not really conducive to growing a ton in, but I can cover it in wildflowers and make some stuff grow. So here's my first garden bed. So I've got some spinach growing there, a big leafy one. These all are onions. They're doing really well. I've got a couple assorted like radishes in here and whatever, some other stuff that I had planted over here. I got a lot of squirrels in my yard, so they steal the seeds quite often. It is what it is. But then here is there it is. There's another garden bed that I have. So these all in these cups are strawberries that they're just not wanting to take root and grow at all. They're being very stubborn, very difficult. I'm hoping that now that they're outside, they'll pop up and do what they're supposed to. I don't know. They might not. I've never grown strawberry roots before, and they're just not having a good time, so whatever. But so here, it's hard to get the camera angle right. So these are my other grow bags that I've got tomatoes in. I've got 4 different varieties, and super exciting. This one here, see those little flowers on it? So already, even when it was still in the pot inside, it already had flowers on it, so it's already trying to set some fruit. So super exciting. I really can't wait for tomatoes. I just couldn't be more excited for tomatoes. So, but yeah, it's just kind of my yard here. Get on the camera angle. I don't know which way I need to move it. Oh yeah, there we go. See, that's just my yard. That's like a hill, and we got a bunch of trees. So, you know, I don't have a ton of growing space, but I'll also probably set stuff here on my porch. Just set some stuff on the corners and do whatever. Trent's carrots will probably go on the porch there. So, yeah. I thank you all for being here. It's awesome. Thank you for taking the time to show all this. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Gardening is very, very near and dear to my heart, and I really do want everybody to find a plant that they love to grow. whether you can eat it or whether it is just a flower that feeds the bees. I mean, everything has a purpose. So, yeah, I thank you all for being here. I am going to get out of here and make some breakfast and whatnot. It's French toast day. So, much love, and I'll see y'all later. Bye.